Now I can finally say that this franchise needs to stop. I am. As much as I like I love the original Jurassic Park trilogy, and like I said, Jurassic Park, my all-time favorite film. I love Jurassic Park. The Lost World, I think it's underrated. Same with Jurassic Park 3. Like those two sequels are not entirely loved though, but I enjoy them. I think they're underrated. The Jurassic World trilogy, I don't care about the first Jurassic World. I like Chris Pratt, but the whole film itself I didn't care about. Now Fallen Kingdom I do like. I think that one's the underrated of the trilogy because I liked the tone it went for. To me, the tone was like the darkest of the series, and it made it more of a bit of a horror film. That's why that was kind of maybe like why I enjoyed it a lot. Dominion, it's nice they brought back the original cast like Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, and they were good though. And but over time now, my interest has started to dwindle from Dominion to like I liked it to not minding it, but just okay, right? It's okay now. I mean, I don't care about the whole. I think when I reviewed it, I think I said I don't care why the whole insect thing was the biggest part of the plot instead of just focusing on the dinosaurs on land now. I don't why that's the biggest issue. Why it's like it's okay. This is the whole bug issue was just it bugged me, pun intended. But yeah, Dominion, yeah, it's okay now. But this Jurassic World Rebirth, I hated. This is the first in this franchise that I full on hated. I hated this film. This literally does show there's nothing new they brought to the table to this with this franchise. They say people complain about Dominion how the franchise has ran its course. I do understand that though, but this really brought nothing. Because I don't give a shit about any of these new characters. I don't give a shit about like Scarlett Johansson's character, who's I'm also tired of seeing. I'm tired of seeing Scarlett Johansson. I think she's not that good of an actress as people make her out to be. Okay. Um, and all these other new characters. There's a reason why this film got mixed reviews because they thought this was gonna be the next new in the franchise. No, it didn't. The ratings speak for it. People think that this brought it was nothing new either. But the film made money. It's made over 700 million worldwide. It'll probably go on to make over 800 million still. It still will make money though. So we'll probably get another one later on probably because the more they make money, the more they're more films they're gonna do. Especially Jurassic Park is a household name, you know. And the film is directed by Gareth Edwards, who I don't think is not a good director. Okay, I don't like his 2014 Godzilla film. I did not like Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Okay, I don't think this guy's that good of a director that people make him out to be. Okay, so this guy, I don't think this guy should not direct any more movies. To me, in my opinion, he should not direct any more movies. Now, originally, which I thought would have been much better, well, would have been better. I don't know. We'll never know though. That originally they wanted director David Leitch to direct this film. David Leitch, who first co-directed the first John Wick film. He later directed Bullet Train, um, Deadpool 2. Then the one with the new one with Ryan Gosling, The Fall Guy. Atomic Blonde was disappointing. It was disappointing though, but I enjoy Bullet Train. I enjoy Deadpool 2. I like The Fall Guy. But the reason why why he left because of creative differences, which means they did not want him to do what they did not let him do whatever he wanted. Once a fucking again, like with Edgar Wright when he was supposed to direct the first Ant-Man film, creative differences. Originally, Scott Derrickson, who directed the first Doctor Strange, wanted to make the second film more of a horror film. They said no, so he left. once once a fucking again, let the, I would love to see how those original films would have panned out if those directors would have directed those films. I mean, just that's what the thing is. They just don't let the directors do what they want. That's why I think that Stanley Kubrick had the balls to stand his ground and let him do what he wanted. To me, Stanley Kubrick is the only director who had the balls on to do that. Who did whatever how the way he saw fit. It's one of the reasons why I love The Shining so much. Why I think he's a much better director. Gareth Edwards doesn't even touch on Stanley Kubrick, because at least Stanley Kubrick, yeah, some of the production he did from The Shining, other stuff and so forth, right? But yeah, but at least he for what he did, he for doing what he wanted. He's the reason why we got The Shining, why we got 2001: Space Odyssey, why we got Doctor Strangelove. I mean, Eyes Wide Shut. It was a weird movie, but I could see the vision of what he was trying to go for. I enjoy Full Metal Jacket. To me, Stanley Kubrick is one of those only directors that had the balls to do what he wanted. Without interference from studios and stuff, right? But no, I would like to see how David Leitch would have directed this film if they would let him do what the fuck he wanted. Because you think that with him directing from Deadpool and the Bullet Train that got praised by critics, and The Fall Guy, I would like to see how this film would have went. Now, would it have made the film better? We'll never know, because he never directed it, because he left, because of the creative difference, like I said. I'm so sick and tired of this, all of that, making decide what this and this and that, But anyway, Gareth Edwards, stop making movies, okay? You're not that good of a director that people make you out to be, okay? In my opinion, he doesn't. And the cast sucks, Like I said, I'm tired of seeing Scarlett Johansson, okay? I don't buy her as this covert ops soldier lady. I don't, okay? As much as I bought Megan Fox as a soldier in that Killer Lion movie. What else are the cast members? Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Loomis. No, not Dr. Loomis from Halloween. Not Donald Pleasance. Dr. Henry Loomis, not Sam Loomis. He's a nerd. That's what he is. He's a nerdy paleontologist. Oh, he said there's a line he said he studied under Alan Grant, Sam Neill's character. They say that because they're trying to keep canon and continuity with the franchise. That's the thing. But Jonathan Bailey, he's a nerd. That's basically what he is. Mahershala Ali, he's also a good actor, but I don't care about his character in this film. I don't. As Duncan Kincaid, he's a good actor, but I also call him the non-Blade because, quote, "There's only ever been one Blade. There's only ever gonna be one Blade, and that's Wesley Snipes." I'm sorry, but I think you should stop, Mahershala Ali. I think you should stop with the Blade movie, okay? Of all the numerous production problems that has been going through up until now, don't make the movie now, okay? And by the time I guarantee by the time if it does come out, people are going to criticize that Wesley Snipes is already going to be the one true Blade, like, quote, he said. So I think just bail out, okay? Stop with the movie. But like I said, he's a good actor though, but I don't care about his character in the film. So, and I don't give a shit about any of these new people. I don't. So the opening of this film. Now they're literally just taking the piss now. Because now there's another island that they pull out of their ass with another laboratory. Which I thought there were only two. First it was Isla Nublar for Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdom. Then there was the second island, Isla Sorna, from The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Now all of a sudden, now out of nowhere, there's another island with another laboratory experimenting. which that no one ever bothered mentioning. So this is an island in another island and laboratory that they literally just pulled out of their ass, and people are wearing hazmat suits, and so how things went up shit creek without a paddle is because the door gets stuck because of a damn Snickers wrapper. A Snickers wrapper floating in CGI style. That's what made the whole laboratory went to shit because of a damn Snickers wrapper. Which, by the way, if you're wearing hazmat suits, should you not be eating anything in there? I'm serious. I mean, if you're wearing if you're in a place where you're wearing hazmat suits, right? Like it's a clean room, whatever. Should you not be eating anything in the first place? But that's the reason why the how the laboratory went to shit because of a damn Snickers wrapper. Floating CGI style, and then the one guy gets stuck in there, and he gets killed by the new dinosaur, the Distortus Rex, which is a mutant dinosaur. Which I swear they took the design from Doom 3. If you remember the front poster or cover of Doom 3, the creature that's on the front cover of it, I swear they took that design for the Distortus Rex. I swear. If anyone have seen Doom 3, if you look at the front of the picture, the title of the video game of Doom 3, the creature on the front, I swear that's what they took that from Doom 3. But that's supposed to be the next baddie, which you don't see basically till the very end of the movie. So this film, and that's the thing, this film is so forgettable and boring because I don't care about any of these people. Because okay, starting from the top, after the shit opening of a damn Snickers wrapper, Scarlett Johansson, she's this covert ops lady, which I don't buy. She's been called. She's in New York, and oh, by the way, Easter eggs as they walk by or go by this school bus. It says Crichton Middle School, which is supposed to be the nod to the late author Michael Crichton, the author of Jurassic Park and The Lost World. Yeah, it's supposed to be your tribute nod to the late author Michael Crichton. I mean, nice touch though, but I like Michael Crichton, but okay, because just a quote, Crichton Middle School bus. So this guy, played by Rupert Friend, which I already knew who he's gonna turn out to be who's already a villain. I already knew that. Which you see later on. Oh, what a surprise! He's a bad guy. He's an asshole. So that was a big surprise. Like that, we haven't seen that coming for how many movies we've seen. When they saw the 180, they're the asshole bad guy. But he talks to her and to Jonathan Bailey, where there's this other island. We want you to go. We're setting up an expedition because we want you to collect three samples from three different dinosaurs. One that's in the sea, one is on land, and one that's in the air. The reason why they want to collect these samples because it's basically a cure for heart disease. And we can help save millions of people and make a product and make money off it as well. I'm like, collecting samples and finding a cure for a certain type of disease. Does anyone remember Deep Blue Sea? Because they wanted to use the shark. They wanted to get these sharks they experimented on to cure Alzheimer's. That's what Saffron Burrows' her whole thing is to cure Alzheimer's. What if you can end all that suffering on a single pill? Does anyone remember Deep Blue Sea? Probably wanted to use the experimental sharks to cure Alzheimer's. Or Or another one. Does anyone remember? Well, people will forgettable, which I don't blame them though. But there's another one. There's another film, Anacondas: The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. They want to go out to this expedition to the jungle to find this certain flower, and it's basically a fountain of youth. You can it can cure any disease to make people live longer. That's another thing. Do people forget about Anaconda's Hunt for the Blood Orchid? Which it's not great of a film. I don't mind that movie, but it was also that's also an idea they took as well. You know, a certain type of element, a sample, or whatever, if whether it's a flower or not, it can cure diseases. A fountain of youth. I'd rather watch Anaconda's Hunt for the Blood Orchid over this easily. And of course Deep Blue Sea as well, because I love Deep Blue Sea. That was a great experience I had when I saw it back in 1999 in the theater when I was a kid, and it was a great experience watching the theater. I love Deep Blue Sea. And which, speaking of, not only that, I show you I have the Jurassic Park poster right here, but also up there, above of John Carpenter's The Thing. Yeah, right there. That's how much I love Deep Blue Sea. You know, great movie. Yes, I still say that the effects, the CGI, it still does not hold up, especially in the famous scene with Samuel Jackson. I know, as everybody's seen it though, because it's a meme. It's a meme, I know, but although it was surprising, right? I didn't when I first saw that in the theater. I never expected that. I never saw that coming. The surprise that Samuel Jackson dies. Granted, the whole scene is ruined by horrendous CGI. Yes, granted, though, it still does not hold up. It's still horrible CGI from late '90s CGI. But the whole, when I saw, me sitting in the theater, that was a whole surprise. I did not see that coming, and I did not expect Saffron Burrows to die. You know, but making the sacrifice so that Thomas Jane can shoot at it. Yes, I love Deep Blue Sea. I'd rather talk about Deep Blue Sea, or I'd rather talk about or watch Anaconda's Hunt for the Blood Orchid over this movie. But anyway, getting back to it, that's basically the gist they want to do. So Scarlett Johansson recruits Duncan Kincaid, played by Mahershala Ali, who they were part of a team once, but because of a guy named who was also part of the team named Booker. I'm like, who the hell's Booker? I guess he was a member of their team, and when they were together as a team, he died. So, but eventually, not the dead guy, Duncan Kincaid. He comes part of the team, and they hired. There's three more people that is also part of the team, which I knew these three people were gonna die because it's clearly there. You might as well wear neon signs on these two guys and this one woman. Might as well put a neon sign and say, "Hey, gonna die later," or a victim. And actually one of the guys is Ed Skrein, the guy who played Francis from the first Deadpool film. That Deadpool was always saying Francis. Yeah, Ed Skrein. Yeah, he's for the first Deadpool film. He's been in other few films while I've seen him in as well, but people will probably remember him as from the first Deadpool film as Francis, which I knew he was gonna die, and which, as well as the other woman and the other guy. So, so they're on their way, and while this is going on, it's like we have two different movies because while we have them, and then we have this other group of people, this family, this family, um, a father with two daughters and the older daughter's boyfriend, which the older brother of the older brother, the boyfriend, who is an idiot and a dumbass, and also part asshole as well, but he does kind of help a bit, but still the guy's a dumbass. Of the older daughter's boyfriend, and then there's a younger daughter and the father. And I first recognize the father for the Lin Manuel Garcia. He's the guy from the 2016 remake of The Magnificent Seven. He was the guy that Denzel Washington recruited as part of the Magnificent Seven. So, oh yeah, that's what I remember. I recognize him. He's the guy from the remake of the Magnificent Seven. A party who gets part with who teams up with Denzel, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke. Yeah, like Chris Pratt said. It's like, oh look, we got a Mexican. Ooh, 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 Yeah, so that guy, okay, from the Magnificent Seven, okay, he's the father in this. But at the same time, okay, but I don't give a shit about this family. I don't. I don't care about nobody in this movie. But they're boating, but apparently, they're on illegal waters because apparently, st- uh, maybe I think it's stupid and it's very convenient as well because all the dinosaurs are on land from what we saw from Dominion. Apparently, a lot of them died off because of the heat, I guess, or I guess the best part that's suitable for dinosaurs now is along the Earth's equator. So that's the best, like, for the best type of temperature and stuff for the dinosaurs now is along the Earth's equator. So I mean, like, that was not established like in Dominion because there was dinosaurs all over the place, like how in the opening of the movie, how dinosaurs are roaming around everywhere now. But now all of a sudden, there's wherever they died off. Now the best place they're at is along the whole equator now. I'm like, wow, that's convenient as well too, right? But the family gets attacked. Their boat gets toppled over by the Mosasaurus. This the Mosasaurus we saw from the previous movies, from Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion. I think that's the same mosasaur we saw from the previous movies. So that they it flips their boat over, and they need to get and Scarlett Johansson. They hear their distress signal. They go over there, but the guy Rupert Friend, he wants to continue on, stick with the plan, but the Scarlett Johansson Bear they rescue them. One thing at least to know that they find them, they rescue them, and also on the way they get attacked by the mosasaur because that's one of the samples they need to get. They need to get a sample from the mosasaur, and also along the way they get attacked by the Spinosaurus, a couple of Spinosauruses. It's not the same. It's a completely different design. It's different color looking, so it's not the same Spinosaurus we saw from Jurassic Park 3. Because they're different colors, and there's like two of other ones. I guess it does explain the debunk the theory about what happened to those people in the beginning of Jurassic Park 3. How the kid and the guy were parachuting, right, and the two guys were on the boats. They were gone. That does explain that. Okay, the Spinosauruses can swim, so I guess that's what the one Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 got them, and then went back to the island. So, but they're getting attacked. The boat's getting rocked. Ed Skrein, he gets killed by one of the Spinosauruses, which I knew he would die because they have a mild tattoo on themselves that will have a neon sign saying I'm gonna die, and he does. And the asshole guy Rupert Friend, the older daughter of the Mexican family, he sees her about to go over. He doesn't help her because you knew that the guy's an asshole. So he sees her about to go overboard. He doesn't help her. And Scarlett Johansson, she manages to get the sample. And stupid thing, when they get the sample, it gets launched up in the air and parachutes. I'm like, what would happen if it went into, like, if one of the Spinosaurus or the Mosasaur eats it, and it's way out there? Don't you think it'd be more practical if they shoot it right? If they get the sample, there's like a wire to yank it back with. I don't know. Does that seem weird to you? I don't know. But just have it parachute when it's just gonna go off somewhere. Maybe if it in case it gets eaten or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. So they get the sample, and then their boat ends up getting I forget. Did it get set on fire? I forget. But they managed to get ashore, and but the other noticeable woman is gonna die, gets eaten, and so then they have to find the family and find the other samples. It's like two different movies. We focus on Scarlett Johansson's team, and then you get the family on the other side of the island. And then stick with the family really quick. Just moving along. The boyfriend he steps out to get it to take a piss, but there's a raptor behind him, but he doesn't notice it. And then I think it gets taken by or scared. I think it's taken or scared by another flying dinosaur that has like a head. It's like a body of a pterodactyl, a pteranodon, whatever, and with a head, but with the head of a raptor. Now, vaguely enough, except for that one scene though, you don't see any other raptors in this movie. Now I'll say okay, that's different because every single movie in the past movies there's been raptors in it, right? Okay, except for that one raptor, but you don't see any else for the rest of the movie. So okay, I do get to deviate away from the raptors because we see them pretty much every single movie. So not being constantly getting attacked by raptors instead of a T Rex or whatever. Okay, I do understand that though. Okay, it's a different idea to just take the raptors out of the movie, except for that one 30-second scene though. But still, not constantly getting attacked by raptors, but a different type of dinosaur. Okay, I do get that though, because we see raptors in every single movie. So let's just shy away from them for in this case for the sake of different. But the guy doesn't notice, and the little girl she befriends this tiny little dinosaur and calls it Dolores. Like I said, I don't care about this whole family. I don't. As I'm watching, I just don't care about this family. I don't. So going back with Scarlett Johansson's team, they find these long neck brachiosaurus type dinosaurs with these weird long thin tails. Did they have fins on them? I forget though, but with these weird long thin tails, and they get the sample really easy because they're not dangerous. So they get the sample very easy, and that's where you get John Williams's theme Jurassic Park theme playing, because it's not a Jurassic Park World movie without the original theme playing. So they get the sample very easily. Then they have to get the one that flies now, the Quetzalcoatlus, as the dinosaur, which you saw in Jurassic World Dominion when they were flying on the plane. They get attacked, right? Chris Pratt, DeWanda Wise, and Bryce Dallas Howard. They're on the plane. They get attacked by Quetzalcoatlus. Same thing here. There's another Quetzalcoatlus here with a nest, and they have to rappel down this cliff to get the sample. Not from the dinosaur, but from the eggs. And so they do get the sample. Jonathan Bailey, he falls off the cliff, but he manages very safely, unharmed, fall down despite falling many stories. He manages to, he hits some branches to cushion his fall, but still lands in the water. But it doesn't look like that very deep. So he's one lucky son of a bitch, which he should have been dead, though. Luck, pure luck. But the one guy, which the other guy knew would die, he gets swallowed by the Quetzalcoatlus, which I knew that guy would die anyway. It's like the take and play on Star Trek, the original TV series of Star Trek, the red shirts. Anytime you see a red shirt, except for Scotty, right? Except for Scotty or Uhura, who wore red. But the other time anyone who wears a red shirt, they die. Instead of having a neon sign, funny thing enough, why don't they just give them red shirts from Star Trek, and because they're gonna die. So now they got the samples. Now they have to find a way to get out of there now, and the family, going back with the family, they encounter a T-Rex. No, it's not. It's not the original T-Rex from Jurassic Park or all the way up till Dominion. We already established that Rexy is on the island in Italy with other T-Rexes. We already saw that, so it's a completely different T-Rex. The encounter, it was sleeping, so the older daughter has to quietly get the life raft. It wakes up, they get on the raft, they get chased by it, which I think that was a scene they took from the original Jurassic Park book. In the original Jurassic Park book, they were a person who gets chased by a T-Rex in the river underwater. they took that scene from the book and they put it in this. I'm like, okay, but it's not. But to me, it's not that big of a deal anyway. But they manage to escape the T Rex. They get on the boat, and then in one thing leads to another. Both groups eventually meet back at this facility at the laboratory. But they get attacked by those these other flying type raptors, flying raptors, and the family like basically ripping off the first Jurassic Park. The whole scene where with um Tim and oh god damn it, what was her name again? Son of a bitch, man. Tim. Tim and Lex. There you go, Lex. I don't know, I just blanked out for a second. Jesus Christ me. Lex and Tim. It's like the scene in the kitchen. Here they kind of doing the rip-off thing in this small convenience store. Where they're trying to go between the aisles. They're trying to evade the raptor type dinosaur. Even there was a quote there. They saw like even the dinosaur was doing like the foot tapping. But they managed to sneak down into the sewer. And then that's when they find that they get to the laboratory. They say, oh, John the Bailey saying, oh, this is where they originally made the dinosaurs for the original Jurassic Park. Bullshit, okay? That's what they thought that Isla Sorna was supposed to be, right? Like what John Hammond said in the beginning of the second film. We raise the animals there and then nurture them for a few months and then move them to the park. I thought Isla Sorna was supposed to be to help for the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park. But no, this is the dinosaurs that they made for the original Jurassic Park. Bullshit. Like I said, this laboratory, this other island, they just pulled out of their ass. And then eventually, that's when they encounter the Distortus Rex. Another experimented dinosaur, which I'm tired of seeing now. Yeah, first you have the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. Then you have the Indoraptor from Fallen Kingdom. Now, granted, I would say I think the Indoraptor was cooler. When I talk about Fallen Kingdom, I like the Indoraptor much better because I thought it was cool looking design, and the fact that it was black with the yellow stripe. I thought it made it more cool looking design. And I also like the fact that it showed how smart it was, like with Ted Levine when he was trying to get one of its teeth right. I like how it opened its one eye and kind of smirked, how it was just toying with Ted Levine by playing dead. I did like that moment where he was doing like a pulling almost like a Looney Tune. It's like, oh, open its eye with a little smirk, right? I liked the Indoraptor, and it was a cool looking design and how smart it was. but we got another experimental dinosaur, but it's called the Distortus Rex, so more of a mutated dinosaur. So they get attacked by it, they run, and that's when they all get down the sewer. Like Scarlett Johansson shooting at one of the other dinosaurs, and Rupert Friend who pulls a gun on him, give me the case, and so they call for help. The chopper arrives, but the Distortus Rex destroys the chopper. And so there's another boat with on this dock, and then one thing leads to another. Mahershala Ali pulls a Dr. Malcolm with the flare, right? Hey, over here. Now, this is a scene that they added on, and it clearly shows because he's luring it away, right, with the flare, so the others can escape. And as they go off in the distance, they see the flare no more, right? And then for some reason, when it's daytime, or I think it was daytime now, they see another flare, and now Mahershala Ali, he's all the way over there. I'm like, how in the hell did he get from there to all the way over here? Did he just teleport all the way over there? And I don't think when he swam all the way over there. Did he just pull a Houdini and just teleport all the way over there? How in the hell did he get from there to over here? Because I think they wanted, because I think they reshot it, and because they wanted him to live. They wanted Duncan Kincaid to live, so they reshot it, and that's where they added that scene late at the end there. And I could definitely see why. Okay, yeah, I like Mahershala Ali. Okay, maybe it sucked if he died. Even though I don't care about his character, but it sucked if he died though. But still, it is like, how does he end from there to all the way over here? That's the most logical reason. He just pulled a Houdini and just teleported over there. That's the best thing. He just teleported. So yes, he got from somewhere we go from back over there to all the way over here. How did he go? Please explain to me. How did he get from there to all the way over there? And then, oh, by the way, Rupert Friend, he gets killed. He gets eaten. Big surprise. It's like all the villains, like Rafe Spall from Fallen Kingdom, or Dodson from the Dilophosauruses. So, but and then the Disaurus Rex, it still lives. They don't kill it. They get away, but they don't kill it. I mean, the Indominus Rex gets killed by the Mosasaurus. At least Chris Pratt has a way to the idea to make including with Blue, made the Indoraptor fall and gets impaled by the Triceratops horns. But this dinosaur, it lives. They just get away. They just get away with it. But just like, how did Mahershala Ali get from up there over? I have no idea. That's the best answer. He teleported. That's the thing. That's the best answer I can come up with. He teleported. What did he just be? Did all of a sudden he just pull a blade and just? I don't know. I just don't know. But now at the end, now John Bailey tells Scarlett Johansson what we're gonna do with the samples. They're not gonna. They're just gonna sell it to everybody, but they're not gonna patent it. So they're not gonna get rich off it. They're just gonna sell it to everybody. And movie. This film was boring. It was, once again, forgettable. Like I said, I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care about Scarlett Johansson. I don't care about Jonathan Bailey. I don't care about Mahershala Ali's character. I don't care about I don't give a shit about the whole family. I don't. Practical effects. Was there practical effects? I could barely tell because there was so much CGI. There was more. A lot of times it was background CGI style, except when they're like walking through the jungle, wherever they shot on locations. But there's sometimes there was, especially when they're on the water, when they're on the boat on the water, it's clearly CGI background. I mean, at least, Jurassic World Dominion did have some practical effects in there. I'll give it that. There was even bit shots of the Giganotosaurus. There was bits of shots of the Giganotosaurus. At least that had some practical to it. So I do say there were still practical effects in Jurassic World Dominion. I'll still give it that though. Even more in Fallen Kingdom. Not Jurassic World, because the only practical effect was the dying Apatosaurus. But I couldn't tell if there was practical. What, Dolores, the little dinosaur, was the only practical effect that they can get? If there was, please let me know, because I couldn't tell in this one. Maybe there was, but I missed it though. But once again, 2 hour, like every movie nowadays is over 2 hours long, boring, and it's just regurgitating stuff we saw in the past Jurassic Park franchise. You know, another island, another laboratory, more experimented dinosaurs. You know, they had a rescue. You know, like Jurassic Park 3, they had the rescue, like with a family. Or taking ideas like, to cure heart disease, like they took with Deep Blue Sea for Alzheimer's, or even Anacondas. But it's the same thing we've seen. What new stuff did this film bring? Nothing. This I can fully say why I don't. This is I will say yes. I will say this is the worst, easily the worst in the franchise. Easily worst in the franchise. Even Dominion, which I thought was now is okay though, but at least they didn't kill off. They didn't kill off Dr. Malcolm. They didn't kill off Dr. Grant or Dr. Sadler. I do like some of the things with the character. But I do like Chris Pratt still. At least there was still some practical effects with the dinosaurs. Even the Lotus, there was a scene with a Lotus where the couple of things with the Lotus was practical. I will give it that though. At least there was a dinosaur that was like I guess the one with the Freddy Krueger claws. I was like, okay. I think that was a real dinosaur though, but it's like okay, I never saw that one though with the Freddy Krueger claws. But I would say even Dominion was better than this. Even the first Jurassic World I thought was better than this. Fallen Kingdom I can easily say is definitely better than this because I like Fallen Kingdom. But the first even yeah the first Jurassic World trilogy I would say is better than this. Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid I thought was better than this. Even Deep Blue Sea, easily Deep Blue Sea. So yeah, Scarlett Johansson, I don't give a shit about her no more. I think she's a terrible actress now. I don't care about these other characters. Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, he's a good actor, but I don't care about his character. And clearly that they want his character to live, so that's how they reshot that ending and to make him live. So that's how we end up teleporting all the way over where how we get over there. He just teleported. The guy Rupert Friend, I knew he was gonna be a 180 bad guy. I knew that. I already saw that coming. I don't care. Listen, I don't give a shit about the family. And I said all the stuff they just pulled out of their ass. How the whole laboratory over a damn Snickers wrapper. A Snickers wrapper is why everything went to shit. Yeah, this is where I can say now it's time to stop with the Jurassic World, the park franchise. This franchise needs to stop now. It's like with every other franchise, Alien, Predator, everything, every franchise like this needs to stop. Okay. You know what the thing is? It's a video game which they have not surprisingly not made into a movie yet. There is a video game called Dino Crisis. I really want to see that get made to a movie. I would. I'd rather watch that get made to a movie than watch another Jurassic World sequel. Which I'm surprised they did not make that into a movie yet. Because I've seen the game Dino Crisis. Now I've not played it. I've seen people play it, but rather have that make that to a movie rather than another Jurassic Park franchise, a sequel, whatever. And Gareth Edwards, stop making movies now, okay? Your films suck, okay? I just wish if it was David Leitch who would have made the film instead. I would love to see how his version of the film would have panned out, but no. Because studios don't let directors do whatever the fuck they want. Like I said, at least Stanley Kubrick stood his ground and the pressure of the studios let him do what he wanted. Because otherwise, like I said, we wouldn't have films like The Shining or Full Metal Jacket or Clockwork Orange. Well, actually, I was not a fan of Clockwork Orange, honestly, but I meant to say 2001: A Space Odyssey, Doctor Strangelove. But yeah. But it's Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah, it's Rebirth, alright. Rebirth into another regurgitated franchise. So that's my thoughts. This film, I hated this film. Now, what I hate better? Is it the worst one I've seen this year? No, because I've seen much worse. This is better than Thunderbolts, because I just reviewed that film. I had no idea. They're both shitty. How about that? They're both shitty. This year has total sucked. This year sucked alone. There's only been a very few films that I've liked this year. Most of everything I've seen this year have sucked. This year alone has sucked. It's one of the worst years I've seen. There's only been like 4 or 5 films I like this year out of like the 10, 15 films I've seen this year have sucked. But yeah, this is another one. So yeah, nothing new, nothing, just same thing. Now, like I say, this stop with this franchise now. Just a bunch of regurgitated, recycled ideas. So, fuck this film. Okay? Yeah, this is the one in this franchise, the first film in this franchise that I full on hated and said was shitty. Like I said, Dominion was better than this. Even though with its stupid bug plot, it was better than this. Anyway, I don't want to stop now, okay? So yeah, fuck this film. All the rest of these films that suck in this year. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you next time. Later.